In order to assemble the machine, a safe method of lifting will be required. First, unpack the machines from their shipping crates. Take note of the machine's serial plates. The final number of the serial number is the module number, 1, 2, 3, etc. This number is also stamped onto the rear of the machine frames. It is important that the correct top and frame are fitted together. Start with the central module, number 2. Place the frame for module 1 on the left of the frame for module 2. Locate the tie bars, rubber spacers, nuts and washers. Pass the tie bars through the holes in the frame of module 2. Make sure to fit 2 rubber spacers on both bars between the 2 modules. Slide the bars into the frame of module 1. Bring the 2 modules together so that they are separated by the spacers. Fit 1 rubber spacer, a washer and a locking nut to the bar inside the frame of module 1. Use the flat sections of the tie bar to hold it with a spanner while tightening the locking nut. Push the bars so that the spacers inside the frame of module 1 are against the frame. Move the frame of module 3 into position, making sure that the spacers again are in place between the 2 frames. As before, fit the single spacer, washer and locking nut inside the frame. Using a spirit level, ensure the frames are level and, if required, adjust the anti-vibration feed. Then tighten the bars. Identify the module 2 top. It is important to start with the middle module at this point. Using the correct safe procedures, lift the top part onto the frame. Secure the frame and machine using 6 bolts. Do not use the shorter bolts with shoulders. These are required for module 1. There are 6 holes in the frame, 3 on each side. Tighten using a spanner. Before fitting the top of module 1, fit the 2 shorter bolts through the frame. They will be retained by the aluminium plate below. It is important to fit these before fitting the module top on the frame, as they cannot be fitted afterwards. Fit the top to module 1 and secure using 6 bolts as before. Repeat for module 3. The module bases and tops should now be fully assembled. Next, the air, oil and electrical connections will now need to be made. First, the return oil filter assembly should be fitted beneath module 2. Hold the assembly in place under the base plate and secure in the rear set of holes. The return pipe then needs fitting between the filter and the oil tank. The aluminium flange is a push fit in the top of the oil tank. The pipe is then tightened into the compression fitting on the underside of the return filter. Starting with module 1, connect the cylinder air pipes between the regulator and the load actuator as marked on pipes and actuator. Connect the load cylinder supply 2 to the load control valve on module 2. Repeat for module 3. Then connect the air bearing supply to the air dryer on module 2 and repeat for module 3. Connect the load cylinder, load and unload pipes as marked from the load control valve. Connect the air bearing supply pipe for each module. Connect the oil supply pipes from the distribution pump under module 1 to the underneath of the valve on each module. Connect the oil bath drain to the return oil filter assembly, making sure to pass the pipe through the hole in the centre of the oil control valve mounting plate. Then connect the drain valve to the return filter. Connect the bypass pipes from the oil tank. Repeat for the other two modules. Next, pass the wiring loom up through the hole in the middle of the base plate. The wiring loom should be attached to the right-hand rear pillar, as viewed from the front, of the machine. The two motor cables, which exit halfway through the loom, should be taken across the rear of the machine to the left-hand pillar. Each cable is labelled and should be connected as appropriate. There are two emergency stop cables from Module 1, which should be connected to the other modules. They are connected to the rear of the power cabinets of Module 2 and Module 3. Fit the screens to the brackets on the front of the machine using the screws and nuts. Note that it is important to ensure that the correct screen is connected to the correct module. The screens can be fitted at any point during assembly. Connect the cables to the rear of the screen as marked. Moving to the oil tank, remove the filler cap. Using a funnel, fill the bath with approximately 2.5 litres of oil. The sight glass should now be about 2/3 full. Refit the filler cap. Remove the transport clamps from the pusher shafts. Connect the air supply to the main isolator on the left-hand side of the machine. Fit the 4 aluminium pillars to support the cover, then fit the perspex cover in place to protect the air system. Finally, connect the mains electricity supply to the underside of the power modules. The machines are now assembled and ready for use.